Devastation in Nepal after the country is hit by two major earthquakes. Joining us now, Executive Director of the Dayton chapter of the Red Cross, Laura Sifeng, whose travels have taken her overseas to Nepal. Laura, so good to have you on. Now, as someone who has traveled abroad and you've spent a lot of time with emergency response, tell us some of the obstacles that folks overseas in Nepal are facing right now.
Well, right now, I think after the second earthquake in particular, there's a lot of fear among the residents about, is this over? I mean, so a lot of people, even if their house did withstand the quake, are afraid to be inside right now because they're afraid their houses might collapse. Okay. We know that over 300,000 houses collapsed, and so most of them, as I saw when I was over there, are made of brick, really mud bricks and just very weak tin structures, and so they don't hold up.
Not good foundations over there, yeah. Let's dive into the Red Cross. You know, thousands killed in the first quake, more killed in the second, as you touched on earlier. You've got volunteers over there. The Red Cross, American Red Cross, has volunteers over there helping out. What do you think is going through their minds when they're right there amidst this destruction?
Well, most of the Red Cross volunteers that are there are actually Nepalese Red Cross. So the American Red Cross has only sent over about 9 folks who really are technical experts at figuring out how to do logistics and IT support in a disaster this big. But I think all of the relief workers want so much to help everyone that's over there, and I think it's frustrating at times to how long it takes to reach all of those who are impacted. There's a tremendous amount of rubble, not a lot of great infrastructure in terms of the roads. Only 17% of the people in this country actually live in cities, so most of those who are impacted are out in villages, and it's really tough to get to them because they're in the foothills of the mountains, and it's just a challenging any time to get to folks.
You touched on this earlier as you've been talking, but you've visited Nepal a few years back, and we have some pictures of that. Tell me what you've taken away after your visit there from this nation.
Well, they're wonderful people, very kind, generous, and welcoming. I actually was there with the Habitat for Humanity organization building homes there, where we got to build homes for the folks out of bamboo, so you can see kind of an interesting structure. But the great thing about it is bamboo grows very prevalent over there, so it was an easy thing for us to use, and we kind of wove what looks like a basket and then applied a mud to it. And what we were told after the first earthquake was all these houses that we built actually withstood the earthquake. So they're fairly flexible and strong at the same time.
A lot of people think that, you know, you need something sturdy and strong too, but you also need the flexibility to sustain an earthquake like that, though it's so devastating to hear what's happening over there in Nepal, and we're thankful that, you know, even those few American Red Cross members are over there as well as the Nepalese American Red Cross. And for those that don't know, Laura, what are some of the services provided by the Red Cross?
Well, we meet basic human needs first, which is people need water, food, and shelter. So that is really what we're focusing on, is trying to make sure people have a place to stay and food and water, because you can't obviously live very long without that. Very
good. And real quick, before we go, volunteers needed, how do we sign up?
Well, we don't send a lot of Americans over there. That's not the best way to use our resources. But we have sent the American Red Cross over $5 million worth of those immediate needed supplies. So we definitely encourage Americans to donate to the Red Cross, and you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS or go to www.redcross.org, because those donations make a really big difference.
Laura, thanks so much. Monetary donations needed. We appreciate you coming on and sharing the details on this. All right, switching gears right now, Chief